Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs? You aren't getting any context. What's good? Welcome to part 5 of the Mega Man X2 Weapon Master run, where the entire arsenal is put to work as it steadily becomes available. Stay tuned for commentary after the gameplay. Our fifth special weapon is the Bubble Splash. It's one of those deceptive weapons that may not look that good at first glance, but whenever you actually try it out extensively, you'll see how freaking strong these barrages of bubbles actually are. A common trend you'll see with X2 weapons is that they'll have a slow discharge before firing at the enemy, like Sonic Slicer. Bubble Splash is like that too, so you'll have to delay your bubbles a bit if you want to take out a strong enemy or obstacle while maintaining your dash momentum. But as I always say, speed ain't everything. Take your time. That said, the bubbles do have a funny underwater property where they'll discharge much faster and travel further vertically. Unfortunately, only Crab Stage and Cross Hunter Stage 2 have underwater segments, so it's not all that practical. But then the charged version... Oh, Jesus Christ, this thing is good. You're protected by a literal shield of bubbles spiraling around you, and the damage is insane to one-shot most enemies. You can bum rush entire sections with this thing active and watch as enemies idiotically hurl themselves into their bubbly demise. It'll stay active too, as long as you don't run out of special energy. You can't get cocky with it, however. Since the bubbles do move around X constantly, you'll still be vulnerable to damage from certain angles where X's sprite isn't protected by the bubble. Also, you can't turn the damn thing off without pausing the game, which is super annoying, but it's whatever. Nothing like taking a casual run forward and basking in the brilliance of the vermilion skies. Oh, this wonderful sunset that I carelessly pass up in mere seconds for my silly challenge running. Oh, you can't blame a guy for stopping for a second, wanting to soak in this gorgeous scenery as he ponders on why he apparently can't dash jump. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of weird failed recordings this time, so just watch me be petty over the most unimportant shit.
Hey guys, you won't want to miss this one. That blue asshole's been failing that strike chain maneuver for the past several minutes now. He's seething right now.
Oh, did it too early. Shit.
Really?
Honestly, I had next to no serious issues recording this stage, which is why the EMS clips were just simple execution screw-ups. You have half of the arsenal at this point, so X's ability to massacre these stages with little effort begins to shine in now. Even though this is a terrible stage to show off Speed Burner, for obvious reasons, it's not like Burner's useless here either. It also helps that before even recording the stage, I already knew my strategy way beforehand because of a short clip I posted like 2 months ago, where the strategy is 95% unchanged. But it's still a testament to how X2 levels are short as hell. Or rather, mastery of your arsenal helps you brisk through faster. This is the quickest X out of most of the series after all. Some of the enemies were skipped here, particularly the ones I charged a Speed Burner over, but I wanted this to be an example of how Speed Burner can aid you in making your life insanely easy in many situations. You'll hardly see me skip mobs of enemies like that again going forward, but next video will allow me to get more in detail with better Speed Burner examples. But yeah, I won't waste your time explaining self-explanatory stuff because there wasn't anything technical heavy going on here, so let's move along. Don't forget to support our remixers today. Neither of them requires an introduction since you should be well familiar with synthesizer. What the fuck? Okay, that wasn't as dumb as Meta X's bottle, but I mean the real ones will get that reference. Anyway, Synthesizer and Mega SFC by now. Still need to give my props to Synthesizer in particular. The Mega Man 3 password arrangement for my menu segments may be something I'll just use for other projects too. It's so good and calming and sets the mood for that brief break period. Anyways, on to Bubble Crab. I didn't want to abuse his weakness here, but I also didn't want to outright just not use Spin Wheel at all either. If you want to be especially cheesy, you can just lock him into an inescapable loop on the wall with the spin wheels and he'll just be completely at your mercy. Hell, you don't even need to use the spin wheels. You can literally do this with the Buster too. But this ain't a speed run, and I'm not trying to rush these fights, since unlike the Zero series, there's no real satisfying payoff for quick killing most bosses if you're not speed running. Aside from Crystal Snail, that boy's quick kills are funny. Also, fuck Violin. Crab's still fairly simple though. You'll want to frequently jump over him so you can bait him into lowering his shield. If the water's too low, the walls are your friend to gain the right altitude. You can also do this to force him out of performing certain actions, such as when he's creating his little hell spawns to dive at you when you burst their bubbles. A quick jump over his head before he can do any attack will force his AI to take a shot at you, which is why he's so exploitable. I know some of you have been wondering why I haven't been using the weapons more often in the boss battles, and well, I still don't have all the weapons yet, that's why. And I'm not going in a weakness order because that's predictable and overdone with runs. I didn't have Bubble Splash for Flame Stag, and while he's also partially weak to the Sonic Slicer, it doesn't really speed the fight up or anything that made the strategy any different. I already explained why I didn't chain abuse Gator, and obviously I didn't have Overdrive Ostrich's weak weapon either at the time. And every other weapon does 1 point of damage if the boss isn't weak to it, so you're better off just using the Buster. Like I said at the beginning of the run, you'll see plenty of special weapons used in the boss rush because that's literally the only thing I can do to make the most boring stage in the game somewhat entertaining. Plus, reserving all the weapon madness for the stages while giving the X-Busters something to do in the boss battles is pretty fun. It was actually a suggestion I received when the X4 Weapon Master ended, so there you go, I'm putting that into action. But yeah, that'll do it for today's video. Check out my Mega Man X4 Weapon Master run, which should be on an end card somewhere on screen. Otherwise, check out my playlist page for my various other runs, and stay chill, y'all.